So first you need to remember to place the extract. Do you remember where we are in the play before this extract begins? So it's important to note that Viola Cesario is there on the behalf of Orsino, who is hoping to woo Olivia. And just prior to this extract, Olivia has removed her veil. What might that be symbolic of? So there's a few things you'd want to annotate right off the bat here. Olivia asking Viola/Cesario why, what would you, suggests, okay, maybe I'm not interested in what Orsino would do, but I might be interested in what you would do. Let's talk a little bit more about you, Viola/Cesario. And the response is uber poetic, it's gorgeous language, and the audience perhaps is clued in that Cesario's not talking about Olivia, but might be talking a little bit about her passion, her newly found passion for Orsino. So let's look at a few other things that we want to pull out here. The last line highlighted there, but you should pity me, shows that Viola/Cesario is saying, well, I would make my love so obvious that you'd feel sorry for me. Basically, my love would make me pitiful. You might want to think about what Shakespeare's saying about people who are so love-struck. See if you can connect that to one of our 5 themes. So Cesario/Viola also says, well, basically, I'd make myself this little cabin near your house. We've got this example of personification where my soul would be in that cabin. I'd write all of these songs of unrequited love. I'd sing them loudly, so we've got auditory imagery there. Into the middle of the night, so that basically the air would echo with your name. We've got some personification there. And again, we've got just basically Cesario all of a sudden wins Olivia over. And Olivia is so thunderstruck that she asks right away, what is your parentage? She's going to be embarrassed about that question later on, and we'll talk about that in just a moment. So that question, what is your parentage, is really not a very well-veiled attempt to find out, hey, is your social status one that, basically would warrant me being able to be with you? Think about the theme that connects with. Viola's response is not 100% truth or lie. She does have a good social status, but I am a gentleman, of course, is going to evoke dramatic irony. The audience would know, of course, that Cesario is not a gentleman, but is a gentle woman. So half of that statement's true, half of it's false. And again, that use of dramatic irony would most likely make Shakespeare's audience chuckle at that moment. And here we have a really important dash. Olivia is saying, get you to your lord, I cannot love him. Go back to Orsino. I'm not interested in him. Let him send no more. And she stops herself and she realizes, wait a second, if I say don't have him send you anymore, I might never see you again. So that dash, that punctuation is really important because we can see Olivia's hesitation in that moment. And we can also see how she's a bit cunning. She's already kind of weaving a plan to make sure that she can see Cesario Viola again. Think about how that is a choice that is going to basically allow the audience to learn a little bit more about Olivia's character. Olivia then offers Cesario some money. Cesario's not impressed by that gesture, so we can see from the next few lines she's quite angry. You'd be able to pull out some of the words that help us understand that tone of anger. And then we have an example of antithesis, or a reversal. Farewell, fair cruelty. So she's acknowledging you're fair, you're beautiful, but you're also really cruel. So both things being true at the same time. So again, it would be important to note that antithesis, and you might want to think about that duality. How does that mirror another duality that is present in this current extract? And of course, we're also going to want to point out that those last two lines are a rhyming couplet. And let your fervor, like my master's be, placed in contempt. Farewell, fair cruelty. So that nice balance, that cadence, a rhyming couplet often is used just to sort of create pause, to kind of have that auditory impact on an audience. And the pause works really nicely because, of course, that's when Viola, disguised as Cesario, is right about to leave the stage. We see the direction exit just after this, and that exit is a really important one because Viola leaves the stage, meaning that Olivia is now on stage all by herself. And when Olivia then delivers her lines all by herself, that's what's known as a soliloquy. And soliloquies are always there to allow us, the audience, to have some perspective, to gain some insight. What is this character thinking or feeling? How are they revealing themselves to us? Now is a great time for us to pause, think back to our 5 agreed upon themes, and see if any of these themes have been touched upon in the extract thus far. Theme number 1. Some people can love selflessly, but some just love the idea of being in love. Number 2, love and desire drive some people to madness. Number 3, life is a performance and we choose our own disguises meant to deceive others and ourselves. Number 4, gender can be performed. And number 5, class boundaries cannot be crossed. So, have any of those themes been developed in this passage? What do you think? So 2 things that I want to point out about Olivia's soliloquy here. That first line, what is your parentage? We can see that she's repeating the question that she asked earlier to Cesario. She's sort of cringing and thinking, oof, I can't believe I said that. And the highlighted bit, one catch the plague. The plague is standing in here as a metaphor for love. So, if Shakespeare is having Olivia refer to love as the plague, what is he saying about the nature of love? And then we also have Olivia making a reference to deception twice. We know that she's going to ask Malvolio to help her set up another meeting. Deceptive. Methinks I feel this youth's perfections with an invisible and subtle stealth. So subtle stealth is also really important because, again, we have this motif of trickery. Trickery pops up again, and again in the play. So motif is, of course, a reoccurring idea. And again, why is it important to have trickery pop up again and again and again if we're thinking about the characters or if we're thinking about any of our 5 agreed upon themes? So, in this soliloquy, what do we learn about Olivia? What do we learn about what she thinks the nature of love is like and how she thinks you go about trapping or perhaps tricking the person that you love? And last but not least, it would be important for you to recognize that this is funny. Olivia has gone from being so melodramatic to all of a sudden plotting, meeting up again with Cesario. So this incredibly quick reversal of her character. Shakespeare's poking fun a little bit. The audience would laugh at someone immediately changing emotional states like this. So you might want to think about the satirical value of this extract. What is Shakespeare trying to teach the audience about the ways in which we can sometimes be very, very superficial? Think about it. And don't forget how funny it would be that Olivia basically lists all of the things that she thinks make Cesario a gentleman. She lists all of these physical qualities when the audience knows, well, Viola is a woman. So here, yet again, is a character seeing only what they want to see, deceiving themselves. Can you think of other times that happens in the play?